People of God, y'all doing all right? Good. It's me. It's me. It is me. It is an evening time, and it is that time. I'm a little late starting, but I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I want to talk about something here, Iran. Oh, we're going to be talking about this for a little while. You know, it is okay to be confident. And confident is good. I teach my children to be very confident in what you're doing. Be confident in what you believe. And make sure that when you're confident, and hold on to that. But there's a difference between being confident and stupid. I say in 60. You're good. Don't stop it. Bass.
It's the show that will get you thinking, and where the topics are hot. Feel free to comment whether we agree or not, 'cause he's got something to say.
Sirwalterj.
He's got something to say. Sirwalterj.
Reporting live 7 days a week. Always on time, but this time is not free. Sirwalterj, always on fleek. Latest trending topics had you jumping out your seat.
He's got something to say.
Come on in, boys. The water is fine.
Hello, everybody. Sirwalterj Jones Show. I'm here. It is the evening edition, baby. Come on in, Water fan. Y'all doing all right? Good to see y'all. I was going out for a morning, evening, that is, an evening jog, and all my muscles started to just overtake me, and then I couldn't take it anymore, so I came here and sit down and talk to y'all. Y'all all right? Good. Good to see you, Bunkers. Good to see you. Let's talk about this Iran war. This is a battle royale. Trump versus Iran. We will lose. We going down. Boom, 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 boom. How? Because we are braggadocious on our military might and prowess, and because we're going after a little piece of land, although they have 9 million people over there, and they rule differently. They fight differently than we do. Okay? And if Vietnam didn't teach us anything, it should have. Donald Trump decided that he would be in power and that he would spit on his those who preceded him, like Biden especially, and Trump, Biden and Obama. He hate their guts. He hate them so severely. At one time, it used to just be Obama. He hated everything about Obama, every single thing. And so what he did was he thought it was going to be strategic, and that when he got into office, he would erase everything Obama did in 8 years. He did his best. Some of the things he succeeded by doing it. But when he started to pick with the Iran deal, right there, he should have left that alone. He should have left it alone. But he thought, listen, this work, I'm going to do this. And this is the Samson effect. Samson was kicking the Philistines' butts year after year after year after year until he met the right woman. He met himself a Delilah. He met Delilah, and Delilah said, all right, I'm going to love on you. You can stay at my crib tonight. We're going to watch Netflix and chill. And that boy decided that he was going to spend the night. He made sure he left his toothbrush there. He has some nighties there. You know, he'll stop by every now and then. And that boy went to sleep, and she took some razors, some clippers, and she went to cutting his hair. And then she said, the Philistines are upon you, baby. He got up. He said, oh, that's no problem. I will shake myself like I always do when them fools come my way, and I'll kill them all. I kill them all dead. And he shook himself, and he said, wait a minute. My hair, my ponytail usually hit me when I do that. My ponytail usually just hit me in the face. Ain't nothing. And it's cold. Close the windows, baby. I feel the breeze. Oh my God. Oh my God. And the Philistines came and whooped his butt. This is what Donald Trump is doing. He figured he can go in there. He launched this little attack over here. He dropped this bomb over here. He killed these guys. He went on to Venezuela and stole their president. He like, oh, this is working. And because I shake myself like I always do, I'm going to drop a bomb in Iran. Well, I was watching David Pakman. And he said some really, this is an 8-minute show here, down here. I'm getting ready to play. And he said something really interesting. And it's what I had been saying, you all, for a while on the show. And y'all wasn't listening. So old Uncle Sir, every now and then got to bring in some receipts from other people who've been saying some stuff. All right? Because typically when your parents say something, you like, you old parents just don't understand. You never been young like me, on and on. And then as soon as the next door neighbor said the same thing, you like, you got a point, next door neighbor. You got a good point. I'm going to listen to you because you ain't my parents. So old Uncle Sir be saying stuff, and y'all just be like, yeah, just Sirwalterj Jones. He don't know nothing about politics. All right, Kendall, I'm sick of Kendall Morris. So let's play this.
How is it that Trump fell for it, but Obama didn't and Joe Biden didn't? Well, maybe basic intelligence is the explanation.
Oh,
I don't know.
Basic intelligence.
But we are going to dive into something super interesting today, which really, I believe, helps us understand what is happening with Donald Trump and with Iran. We are going to hear a clip here from an interview with Antony Blinken, the former Secretary of State under Joe Biden. Antony Blinken explains something extraordinarily important. Obama and Biden spent years trying to avoid the exact war that Donald Trump walked into. And
that's exactly it. Now, again, you all, I typically tell y'all, full disclosure, that I don't always play all these videos to its fullest. I typically play up until a part, and then the rest of it I haven't seen. So I have seen Blinken talk. After that, I don't know what's going to happen. I just want to make sure that I ain't lying to y'all when I play this stuff. I be putting myself out there, boy. Okay, Blinken, sometimes you blink, sometimes you don't. But listen to his words.
Blinken explains in this clip that the duration of this war ultimately is going to be determined by markets and by munitions, meaning money and weapons.
Yes.
Let's take a listen and then we will discuss.
Because you all are gassing up, those of you who are driving, and you've seen that some of y'all's gas is almost $5. Some of y'all's is $5, depending on where you are, especially if you're in Seattle and California, it's $5. Why is it up in the mid fives? Because of this thing here. Although there's price gouging because America got a lot of oil, but let me tell you, that dropping of the bomb caused a ripple effect in the water. He should have left it alone and stopped being so acting like a little boy, because Obama was doing some stuff here.
Critical importance to understand this, to really understand what is going on right now.
Look, this has been a long story when it comes to Iran. And back during the Obama administration, the Israelis were pushing President Obama to take military action against Iran, and were warning that they would do it themselves if he didn't. And he wouldn't, because he thought the better way to get at the nuclear program, which is what we were focused on, was through very muscular diplomacy backed up by very, very strong sanctions that we rallied the world to put in place. And then we got the Iran nuclear agreement.
Yeah.
In the days after.
The best way is through muscular diplomacy. Sit down at the table, Ronald Reagan was good at that. Hello. Well, shake my hand, Gorbachev. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Okay, it's diplomacy through that intelligence. Sit down and talk, and let's see if we can figure this out without dropping bombs like little boys. And it worked.
After the October 7th attack on Israel, the horrific attack on Israel by Hamas, the Israelis were insisting that in the north, Hezbollah from Lebanon was about to attack. And they wanted to strike preemptively against Hezbollah. And President Biden said, look, we're with you. We'll always be with you in defending Israel. And if you're attacked, we're there. But we're not there if you're going to start something. And we came within about 30 minutes of having a war in the north based on bad information that the Israelis had about an imminent attack from Hezbollah. We were able to avert that. But the Biden was very insistent. We're not going to do something that you initiate, that you start. It's very different than defending Israel when it's been attacked. I can't speak to what the dynamic was this time. I heard that. Then it was walked back. The president said it was the other way around. There's been a shifting rationale, a shifting explanation for why this, why now. And again, that's why it's so important to have ideally laid this out before the American people and our partners and allies. We might have had less friction with them if there was a compelling case to be made.
So let's talk about this.
Yes, exactly. That type of authoritarian mentality is rooted in this man. He loves them. I remember here in Chicago, Pitts and Demetrius may remember this. Mayor Daley night, late at night or really early in the morning, he tore down Meigs Field. Meigs Field was a small municipal airport for the privileged private planes and what have you. It was downtown. It was perfect. It was beautiful. And it was a way to fly into town without having to go to O'Hare, which was the busiest airport at that time, or Midway. You remember that, Pitts? And those trucks came down those streets. I remember waking up early in the morning. It might have been 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't remember. And he tore up that runway. And like the Garden of Eden, God put those cherubims there to guard it, and that's what he did. So what happened? Well, there were planes there on the tarmac. The people who owned the planes were somewhere in the city. They were at the hotels downtown, what have you. They wake up, well, I guess I'm gonna fly home now, and then they like, I can't even get to my airplane. I can't even fly out of here. He just tore it up. And planes were coming in and they couldn't land. And people were like, what the boop is he doing? It was easy access for the elites. He ripped it apart like a piece of paper. He did it while Chicago was asleep. This is what authoritarians do. They don't let you know their play. They just do it.
To
American people and our partners and allies. We might have had less friction with them if there was a compelling case to be made.
So let's talk about this. There's 2 important elements to this. Number 1, Benjamin Netanyahu, as he is wont to do, has tried to rope the United States into preemptive military action before.
Yep.
But Barack Obama
wouldn't do it.
And Joe Biden didn't fall for it.
That's right.
But Donald Trump did.
He always
That's
do.
number 1. And
okay. I haven't seen the rest of this, so I'm just talking from my head. Hopefully he's saying the same thing I'm going to say. Donald Trump, I've told y'all before, I said this a few days ago, that Donald Trump listens to anybody around him because he don't have a plan. He don't have an entrance plan. He don't have an exit plan. He don't have a affordability plan. He don't have a plan whatsoever. He just got a bunch of rhetoric. And so he says whatever comes out of his head. That's why it makes no sense. He lies. And the people around him allow him to lie because it benefits them. It pays their rent. All right. And what it does is it gives the strength of those who've always wanted to attack here, attack there, because he wants Cuba next. He wants Cuba next. That's why he wanted Mexico. He wanted Canada. He wanted Greenland. He just want this. He want this because he really wants to be like a Putin or a Kim Jong-un. And it is the Pentagon who is running this ship, not him. It's the Pentagon running the ship. Trump is being used like a dog, like a puppet. They needed a guy like Trump. Biden and Obama was in the way. And these wealthy heads was losing money. Lockheed Martin and these other places that build and produce these weapons and aircrafts and what have you. It's a money game because war is money. So they finally got a guy in there who they say, hey, we need this. And he's like, okay, I got the power now. The people put me in there.
Number two, there is this other issue, which is that Iran can keep fighting cheaply while it is really expensive for the United States to sustain this war. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be part of our analysis a little bit later about the people around Donald Trump saying, you've got to do a 180 and get out of this thing. But just for example, Iran is using $20,000 drones against $4 million U.S. Patriot missiles.
Yep.
The cost structure is completely asymmetrical. Now, that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, of course, but there is a trap here, which is you, as a weaker, smaller, poorer country, can drain the stronger country financially,
yes,
even if you are indeed weaker. Now,
man, y'all hear that? Didn't I not say that yesterday and the day before that? Dulce Landron, lose to a weaker nation like they did with Afghanistan, Iraq, Vietnam, Mogadishu. Yes, the difference is that the U.S. is going to lose big time. They're going to start sharing people, make up stories, anything to get support from their citizens in other countries. You're right. This is a proxy war, and this is a war of attrition. And that's why I'm calling it battle royale. That means you hit them hard, hit them, keep hitting them till they wear themselves out. And the war of attrition is like the Muhammad Ali. He calls it the rope-a-dope. All right, you just get them on the ropes, and you keep beating the hell out of them. And this kind of war is the best way that a smaller nation can win, but but they have to win through strategy. That's why you'll see a big guy fighting a little guy, and the little guy, he's fast. He's fast on his feet. Like what's that boxer? The other boxer, he was short, but he was fast. I mean, he was all over the place, man. And he was like, whoa, what's going on around me? What's going on around me? That's what Iran is doing. They're trying to be mosquitoes and little foxes, and they're attacking American bases that are in the territories of other countries, so that the other countries could that can go against us. That is, I'm looking for a word there. The other countries can say, hey, get out. America, move your base, because they are attacking us because your base is with us, and you're going to have to get up out of here because our people, we're losing because your base is here. And so this is attrition as well as types of proxy. And so when you don't know the strategy, you think that because we're such a powerful nation, we're superpower, that we're going to win. Thank you, Sugar Ray Leonard. Thank you, Kendall. Sugar Ray Leonard. Iran is Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm telling you. And America is Mike Tyson. Mike can win all his battles. Mike couldn't take what's his face? So what did he do? He tried to take his ear off. What was his name, y'all? Mike tried to take his ear off because he was losing. They called it the Midnight Raid. Yes. Demetrius, thank you. Meg Field. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Midnight Raid. Who was he fighting, y'all? When he couldn't take it anymore? He bit his ear. Because he couldn't. And that's what Iran is doing. Iran is biting our ear. Thank you, Deborah. Holyfield. All right.
Barack Obama and Joe Biden understood that dynamic, and they worked to avoid being pulled into exactly this type of conflict. Mm-hmm. Trump and his allies are framing the opposite narrative, which is Obama was weak. That's why he didn't do this. He could have done it. And you've heard, I don't remember if it was Caroline Levitt or who, say, hey, listen, anybody could have done this over the last 40 years. Trump's the one with the strength to do it. Well, maybe Trump is the only one gullible enough to do it.
Yes.
Maybe Trump is rather than showing strength, Trump is showing that he can be manipulated, which of course we know that he can.
Yes, he can. And he's being manipulated not just through the Pentagon, but the Pentagon is relying on white evangelical Christians or nationalism to help them. I help you, you help me. And their hands are back like this. And they're doing a pass off like they're running a relay and what have you. They're passing it off. And so you've got AIPAC, AIPAC, Stronghold, and you've got Christians United for Israel, Kufi, John Hagee's thing. And you got two other PACs there that are very strong. And they've always been in this game, all right, of helping Israel. And it is a trade-off, because it makes a whole lot of money, but you need white evangelicals to keep preaching the rhetoric that we must bless Israel. You need that. Without that, it would weaken and weaken and weaken. That's why we give billions of dollars to them. All right. So they all needed one fool to help them. One fool. And that fool was Donald Trump. They needed him. There's no coincidence that he got back in office. No coincidence. He had all the help that he needed to get in there. This is why he's acting different in this time than he did the first time. The first time he was bumping his head trying to figure out what's going on. He couldn't believe that he won, and they were just trying to figure him out. The Dems had him on the roll, okay, on the run. But this time, he still don't know what he's doing, but he's older. He's more of an angry old man, and he's got the right people in office who kisses up to him, so that, oh man, what's the show? I can't play it, or I'll get hit. Jimmy Kimmel last night. It is one of the most embarrassing things I had ever seen. I'm going to have to put that on Patreon. It was horrible. Let's go back.
I don't remember if it was Caroline Levitt or who, say, hey, listen, anybody could have done this over the last 40 years. Trump's the one with the strength to do it. Well, maybe Trump is the only one gullible enough to do it. Maybe Trump is rather than showing strength, Trump is showing that he can be manipulated, which of course we know that he can. And Iran's strategy has essentially been, let's provoke an escalation. Let's allow Trump to overreact, and maybe Bibi Netanyahu can convince him to do it. And that is exactly what Donald Trump did, launching this major military campaign, assuming Iran would fold quickly. And instead, Iran is seemingly prepared for a long-term conflict. They've absorbed strikes so far. We've got oil markets exploding. Gas is up again now to more than an 18-month high, a multi-year high for gasoline today. And so this is why Antony Blinken sort of astutely says the real pressure point may end up being not the battlefield where, listen, Trump can keep bombing.
You hear right there? All right? Because Monkey Move says Iran can't win. Mark my words. You gotta look a little. You gotta look a little deeper. Look a little deeper. You're not seeing the big picture. Can I tell you a history story, young man? We had what was called a civil war in the United States in the 1800s. Okay? It had everything to do with slavery and freed states and slave states. Okay? The war was fought between the North and the South, the Confederates, the Union Army. It was a battle. It was rough. So many men lost their lives. But the North won. What did they win? They won the battle. They won based off of their strength. What eventually happened was, over time, the South, because typically, whoever wins the war tells the story. Okay? Even when it's a lie. The South began to win another kind of war over time. And that's why we have a Donald Trump. We have a Donald Trump because the South won over time. The daughters of the Confederacy put up all those statues and monuments to men who lost. And you get people to listen to rhetoric, you will realize over time, because time is on their side, the South began to win, and they're still winning. If you live in Atlanta, Georgia, there's a whole mountain there dedicated by a vice president. What's his name? It was one of Ford's vice. It's one of Richard Nixon's vice president. I forgot his name. That mountain, dedicated, a Ku Klux Klan mountain. How could that happen in American history? Huh? How was that even possible? We were so ignorant that the good old boys on that TV show in the 1970s was driving around in the General Lee, and we thought, oh, we want that car. Come on, y'all. Stone Mountain, Georgia. Y'all are missing the whole point here. Just because a person wins a scuffle because somebody pull up the white flags, you're gonna come home and you're gonna start itching. What's going on? I'm itching. I'm coughing. My hair's falling out. Check the bank account. The money is gone. You can't even afford to buy gas. Y'all missing it. We gonna lose. And if you know Bible history, or if you know Bible prophecy, Iran ain't going nowhere. Because when we look in the Bible, you don't see America in the Bible. You see Iran. Her name is Elam in the Old Testament, and her name is Persia. But you don't see America. Nowhere in the scriptures. I wonder why. America is going to lose. What do you think about Trump believing that Kim Clement prophesied about him? He posted this on Truth Social. Kim Clement was a false prophet. Donald Trump is listening to white evangelicals lie to him in his face. Kim Clement is a Texas sharpshooter. He is what we call, what is his name? What is that so-called prophet back in the day? They always bring up his name, Nostradamus. He also he was someone what we may call, I'm smart, but sometimes some nights I'm just dumb. Some nights I'm just dumb because I know what I want to say, but I need some time to think it out. Retrition. I think that's the word. Contrition. It'll come to me in a minute. It'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, he was a false prophet, and in prophets they have a way of saying things like palm readers and soothsayers and people who read the globes. Your church prophet does the same thing, and illusionists. They all use the same tactics. And Kim Clement was good at that. Thank you, Kendall Morris. Kendall, I'm gonna have to send you $2. That's all I got in my pocket right now. Retro clairvoyance. There's another name when you Google retro clairvoyance. It's recognition or something like that. Retrition or some retribution. Retribution that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Y'all know where I'm coming from. All right. So Kim Clement was one of the worst. But what did he do? He got y'all good. He had that long flowing hair. And he always had the music in the background. And he was loud. And he always sang in between. And Trump will be the trumpet. And he got y'all good. And he made a lot of money until he died. Oh, all right, let's go back.
Major military campaign, assuming Iran would fold quickly. And instead, Iran is seemingly prepared for a long-term conflict. They've absorbed strikes so far.
Yep.
We've got oil markets exploding. Gas is up again now to more than an 18-month high, a multi-year high for gasoline today. And so this is why Antony Blinken sort of astutely says the real pressure point may end up being not the battlefield where, listen, Trump can keep bombing stuff and he's going to destroy stuff.
Yep.
And he's going to kill people and it's going to be terrible for Iran. Of course, the U.S. can do that. But how long can Trump sustain or tolerate the economic disaster that he's precipitating? Now, this explains why Trump's own advisors are saying we got to get an exit plan here. But there's a bigger theme, and I think this is maybe, if there's one takeaway from this segment, it may be this. Trump constantly is manipulated.
Yes.
He falls for what authoritarian leaders tell him.
I told you.
And he takes the bait for what other regimes do.
Yes.
We have many examples. Think back to Trump's first term in Helsinki with Vladimir Putin, where Trump came out and he goes, listen, I asked Putin, did you guys hack? Did you hack us? Every American intelligence agency said, yes, the Russians hacked us.
Yes.
And Trump goes, I don't know. Putin denied it very strongly. I believe him.
Y'all remember
We
that?
saw it with Kim.
Y'all remember that at Helsinki? You remember that? His first administration? Putin was right here and Trump was right here. And Trump's advisors said that Putin did that. Trump was like, I'm not listening to you. I'm listening to the man that I love so much. And the man told me he didn't do it, so he didn't do it. Y'all remember that? I couldn't believe what I was seeing on national television. And Putin went back in his car and drove off and said, "Ha ha, yes, excellent, excellent." It worked. And then it happened again when Trump had him to meet him. Was it Alaska? A few months ago, thinking that he's going to get Putin and the news. They're gonna have a meeting and all this blah blah blah. They rolled out the red carpet for Putin. Putin dog walked him like a fool and went back to Russia. And you all can't even see this. I just don't understand you people.
Jong-un. Think back to Trump's first term in Helsinki with Vladimir Putin, where Trump came out and he goes, listen, I asked Putin, did you guys hack? Did you hack us? Every American intelligence agency said, yes, the Russians hacked us. And Trump goes, I don't know. Putin denied it very strongly. I believe him. We saw it with Kim Jong-un at the summit. Kim Jong-un made the exact same promises to Trump that North Korean leaders have made to American presidents before. We know those promises never materialize. This is why we usually do preconditions for negotiations.
Right.
Trump goes there. He goes, he promised me the world. They're going to denuclearize and they're going to stop missile testing and all this stuff. And of course, it never materializes.
Never.
And Trump falls for it. So the pattern is the same. Foreign leaders flatter Trump. They tell him what he wants to hear. He believes it. And this time, the result seems to be a war that we had no business getting involved in, and maybe stuck in, or Trump needs to do an about face and take a brutal and humiliating loss. We now are seeing the people around Trump realizing what's going on, and they're saying, sir, with tears in my eyes, we've got to get out of this. Let's talk about that next.
Yep. With tears in our eyes, with tears in their eyes. Yep. Trump, yesterday and day before, they keep asking him, how's the war going? We're winning. It'll be over in just a few more days. Or not. So when is it going to be over? Well, it's over now. We can pull out now. Or we can pull out in 6 weeks. He have no idea. He's got to always be on top. This is what they did in Vietnam. The same thing. Same thing. Gene, all you need is to tell Trump he's the best thing since sliced bread. He's a malignant narcissist. Those are the words. And so he's lying. And you're going to see mission accomplished behind him, just like Bush. And Mac are going to be like, Trump did it. We told y'all Trump did what Obama couldn't do. Obama killed his thousands and Trump killed his 10,000s. Yeah, he did. He killed his 10,000s, all right. At the cost of our allied nations, saying, what the boop is going on over there in America? Y'all getting us killed. Because Iran is a mosquito. They just fighting. They just throwing bombs everywhere. And they can afford it. It only cost them $25,000 to shoot something over there. It costs us $1 billion to shoot one rocket. We're going to run out of money. We're going to lose, monkey moves. We're going to lose. Because people look at losing as you running away with your tail between your leg and all the soldiers' outfits are torn and we done lost 1,000 soldiers and y'all, no. We're going to turn tail and get out of there and say they've had enough. No, America, you had enough. You had enough. I think I saw some questions here or statements. Comments. It is not a boots on the ground for Iran. It is taking down tech. Yep. Oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Yep. And the economy affects. Yep. Not about boots. Didn't I tell you that yesterday? Man, let me tell you. Just a bit off topic, but would it be an investment to buy an EV car right now? Excuse the caps moderators. I wouldn't do just EV. No, you better do a hybrid. You better do you a hybrid. Don't be doing no EVs. I would never do straight electric vehicle. Absolutely not. Especially if you don't know how all this work. People who are buying them Teslas, a lot of them are returning them because they're like, I got stuck in this traffic. I got 20% battery, and I'm screwed. And the next charging station is 50 miles from here. And then when you get there, the charging station is broke. I will never get an EV, all EV. Better get your hybrid. Even my bikes, I have an e-bike, and it's hybrid. It's hybrid. Because when that battery run out, I still can pedal home. Them cougars ain't going to get me. They're not going to get me. Trump's pride An eagle will never let him take the low road, no matter. Hey, Delethea, did you have a birthday? I think I missed your birthday a couple of days ago. Let me know if I'm wrong, because I never miss your birthday. I just never. But until now.
Heard at Guantanamo.
Okay, I want to talk. Let's talk about Elijah Miller. All right, this woman right here. Some of y'all have seen her. She's going to talk about Pete Hegseth, Holy War. You did? I'm so sorry. Charge it to my head, not my heart. You know. You know I would have come through for you. You knows that, because I've been coming through for you for years. All right. Let's see what she got to say.
Hi, it's Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. You're tuned into Why America? I'm your lawyer friend, Elijah Miller. Since the U.S. and Israel's initial strike on Iran on February 28th that started the raging conflict unfolding in the Middle East right now, the Military Religious Freedom Foundation has received more than 200 complaints from members of the U.S. military across all services, claiming that high-ranking officers have been drawing explicit connections between extremist Christian nationalist beliefs, the end times, and the ongoing war with Iran.
Hey.
One complaint indicated that a commander had urged officers to tell their troops that Operation Epic Fury was all part of God's divine plan, and that, quote, President Trump has been anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon and mark his return to Earth. The president...
These atheists, agnostics, unbelievers, and all these other folks, they are going crazy over this. This is why Christian nationalism is dangerous and a joke. Because Christian nationalism ain't got nothing to do with Christian at all. They got nothing to do with Jesus. It's all politics and power and dominance. That's all this is. It's basically white Judeo-Christian, what they may call values. There's no true Christian values in it whatsoever. No. So the United States spitting on the First Amendment and making this a holy war, ain't nothing holy about the United States. Iran may be fighting a holy war. Iraq, Afghanistan, they're fighting holy wars. We're not fighting a holy war. No, this is about money and pride. This is not a holy war. So what they're doing is they're telling the men who are fighting and the women, this is a holy war to boost up morale or something like that. No, this is a military industrial complex. That's all this is in America. And that's all it will ever be. And I'm a Christian. And I love the First Amendment. You want separation of church and state. You want it. Even as a Christian, you must have it. This is why I cannot ever vote for putting prayer back in schools. Thank God it got out of there when it did. We don't even see God in this whole thing. I know Madam O'Hare was doing what she was doing. Y'all should have left her alone. What they did eventually. And they bragged about it when I was young, how they talked about how she died a horrible death and all this stuff because God came and revenged this and revenged that and all that stuff. And as I got older and began to study really how dangerous it would have been to keep prayer in school, I said, Madam O'Hare did a good thing. God used her. He used her mightily. You don't want prayer in school? Number one, why ain't your butt praying at home? Why aren't the parents of Christian parents praying with their children at home? You wouldn't have to fight so hard to get it in school if you had it at home. Number one. Number two, you couldn't see that the United States was becoming a melting pot of all religions around the world, especially the Eastern religions. In walked pantheism and monism and Buddhism and Hinduism and Sikhism. I mean, we got them all coming up in here. And so those people would have become educators and teachers and principals and deans and all this other stuff, and they pushing their religions on your children that they must pray to the east using words that we see in the Quran or whatever pagan, and there's the Church of Satan. Then America must recognize the Church of Satan. And they would have been praying to, Dagon. They would have been praying to Moloch, all kind of stuff. So you really want prayer in school? Because if you put prayer in school, it must be prayer for all, not prayer to a mono God like God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. Not that God. No. Not that God. It's a plurality God. Pluralism. And your kid will come home jacked up. Whew. And that's why we got all those Muslims in the prisons. That's why. Come on, Delethea. You would have to pray to all other gods. And your parents didn't see that. They get 3 minutes of silence at schools. Muslim students will pray. Christian kids act up and never pray. And so, look, Monique said, I'm a substitute teacher. I substituted too for a couple years in South Dakota. Let me tell you, I got to go pray. Go ahead, because if I had stopped him, I would lose my job. This is a Christian nation, but God and his son Jesus is a joke to Americans. That's why you can create cartoons and movies and all kind of stuff making fun. Stand-up comedians could talk about Jesus and all kind of stuff. Your TikTok videos and all this stuff. You can do that in America, and Christians laugh at it. But if you ever did that to Muhammad, you can't, because America is scared that what would happen to them. Come on, syncretism at its best. America is a joke. And so they're acting all holy now. Listen
the military realisms and the ongoing war with Iran. One complaint indicated that a commander had urged officers to tell their troops that Operation Epic Fury was all part of God's divine plan, and that, quote, President Trump has been anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon and mark his return to Earth. The president of the Military Religious Freedom Foundation, in a statement, said that the complaints, quote, report the unrestricted euphoria of their commanders at what they perceive to be the coming rapture. Before these over 200 complaints began pouring in, the Military Religious Freedom Foundation had been fielding numerous other repeated complaints due to Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth's order that Christian prayer services be held monthly in the Pentagon, and even communicated via email to military personnel and also defense contractors. Last month, Christian nationalist preacher Doug Wilson, head of the Communion of Reformed Evangelical Churches, was personally invited by Hegseth to preach at the Pentagon. The story of how Pete Hegseth got to the head of the most powerful military on the planet and the ideology underpinning his beliefs, which was once a laughably batty fringe theory but now has access to the nuclear codes, provides us with a really clear picture of the worldview animating not only Pete Hegseth and the Christian nationalists apparently running our military, but also Project 2025 and the entire far right that now has a chokehold on the federal government. Also, if you watch all of my videos and somehow aren't subscribed yet, could you hit that subscribe button? It helps this channel. Thank you so much. I know we...
All right. Y'all hear that? Let me see. I wasn't prepared. I wanted to see some other stuff I saw about Pete Hegseth. And he's got a tattoo, you all, on his chest. He's got a tattoo on his chest. And it looks like a Christian thing, but it is a racist relic. It's a racist relic. And I thought I saved it on Facebook. That's why I'm looking. she goes into that a little bit after her commercial. Let's see. Let's fast forward her commercial because she be selling sex stuff and stuff.
With me on today's video. Peter Brian Hegseth was born right here in beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota. He got a bachelor's degree in political science from Princeton, where he was the publisher and editor-in-chief of the Princeton Tory, the school's conservative student newspaper. He served on the Minnesota Army National Guard at Guantanamo Bay, in Iraq, and Afghanistan until 2014, when he was assigned to the Individual Ready Reserve through the District of Columbia Army National Guard, though he was barred from serving on duty at Joe Biden's inauguration in 2021 because he had been flagged as an insider threat, in part because of the tattoo he has that says Deus Vult, Latin for God wills it, a Christian nationalist motto that has ties to far-right groups and is a popular slogan among perpetrators of right-wing terrorism, including at the Charlottesville, Virginia riots in 2017. It was this incident that Pete blames for his decision to leave the military. Starting back in 2006, Hegseth worked with Vets for Freedom, eventually becoming the organization's president in 2008. Though he was removed from leadership by 2011, due to mismanagement of hundreds of thousands of dollars of funds. He then went on to be president of Concerned Veterans of America, which he left in 2016 after a whistleblower reported he fostered a sexist and hostile work environment, used the
Okay, that's about Pete. I don't want to go into Pete, but Joyce Sample is right. I was watching the Tonight shows, the comedy shows, late night shows, and I started to see how they were unpacking all of the expenses of Pete Hegseth. So embarrassing. And the woman that he just fired, what's her name, who shot her dog? She spent millions of dollars on an ad of her riding a horse. These people that he hired they're just like him. Just like him. Millions and millions. Is it Bondi, Pam? Is it Pam? Millions and millions and millions of wasted taxpayers' money on just stupid stuff like steaks and tables to put your flowers on or something. Chairs and desks. He spent more they said, in 30 days than any secretary has spent over a couple years. Is it Christy Nome? What'd I say? Pam? Pam Bondi is Pam Bondi was the one who was talking about the stock market is up. The S&P. Why am I even here? Well, let's talk about the S&P. That was Pam Bondi. But this Christy Nome with all of the sold in hair to go down here. I'm not talking about you folks in your hair sewing, but her go all the way down. And you can't tell if she's happy or sad because somebody just started poking her. Somebody started taking a syringe and all the way. So you don't know if she's happy or sad. I'm not the typical body shaming person, so let me stop. I don't want to play a part of that because I'm going to get some emails and text messages. Trust me on that. They coming. So what are we going to do about this? She's next. Via Pam is next. What are we going to do about this? We're going to lose this war. We already losing. We got the wrong guy, first of all. And he should not have done this. But the Pentagon will say he did it. Those who are a part of his cabinet, history is going to speak for them. It's going to tell their stories. And it's going to be one of the most embarrassing times in American history for these men who work for that man. It's going to be extremely embarrassing, like those who worked for Richard Nixon. And I'm not even talking about the ones who went to jail. Those who escaped prison, but they worked for him and helped him. It is an embarrassing legacy that they have to live with. And these men and women will have an embarrassing legacy to tell. They'll be in the history books, and it will be their names will be synonymous with foolishness. Foolishness. So this war, we're going to say, we won, and you won't be able to afford to put food on your table. And you're going to know why. You're going to know why. Because you know why right now. So what I suggest you do is use discipline. As we always say when we talk about in our financial shows. Use discipline, please, boys and girls, moms and dads, and cut the cord of expenses that you know you don't need. You don't need it. You really can downsize. You just, like the rich young ruler, he held on to that stuff. He couldn't downsize because he was worshiping at it. It's difficult, man. Listen. I am older and smarter now. I know. Listen, bro, you don't even need this. You spending hundreds of dollars a month for this thing. You don't even use it no more. Get rid of it. Cut your losses and you'll recover. But you holding on to this, get rid of it and get rid of her. Get rid of him. Because they're holding you down. My SUV is parked in front of my place, and it hardly ever moves. You know why? Because I wanted to make sure that everything that I need is here in my house, and I only go out when I need to. And I wanted to move near a store where I ain't got to drive so far. I strategize my next move. And so my gas is always a half or more. And if my gas go down to a half tank, that's F, meaning you failed, Walter. Not full, that's F. I'm talking about I grade myself. You failed. If that means it's on E. So I try to keep it at around a 3/4. If I see that my gas is at 3/4 of a tank and it's slipping down to a half tank, I got to find a gas station. Because if I allow it to hit a half and go just a little bit past a half, I failed myself. Now I am below, I'm subpar. I'm in a danger zone, and then I just might just give up. So I don't allow that. Come on, Piz, you too. Who else do that? I don't play those games. And now gas is $5. So I really don't play those games. I ain't going nowhere. I don't even know if my church is going to see me this weekend. Where Brother Jones at? Well, the gas is a little high. I can't come to church this week. I ain't coming. I'm not going to do it. Cut these things off, y'all. Cut them off. Just cut them off. And if you haven't been investing, you got to start. When you going to start? Never say I'm too old. When you going to start investing? Huh? When you going to start investing? Huh? Let me know when you going to start investing. I'm going to go into the finance room, I think tomorrow. I'm either going to do it tomorrow or Friday. And I'm going to, whoever's interested, I'm going to show you something that me, my daughter, and my son, and my brothers are doing. Not all my brothers, but we're doing to kind of shore up, take some money, let it double over a short period of time, and then start paying your utilities on it. Or you keep it in there and let it compound interest. It's something that we've been doing and it's been working. I'll tell you all about it in the finance room on Patreon. And I'm only going to take just a few people if y'all interested in that. But I'm just trying to find ways to help you as I try to find a way to help my family. If you don't want to do it the traditional way because you're just now starting, there's a quicker way to do it, but it's just, it could be a little more volatile. But I'll show you around that. But you really got to start investing. Do it now. Do it the traditional way right now. All right? Because we don't know what's getting ready to happen with this man sitting in the White House. We don't know. Because every time this man says that tariffs is the greatest thing, every time he drops a tariff on a nation, the stock market crashes and burns, and your goods and services go up. He still can't understand how tariffs work, and he's the president of the United States. It didn't work when they tried that mess in the 1930s or 40s. The Smoot something tariff didn't work. It bankrupted the United States. They had to get rid of that thing. And here he is trying it again. And then when he loses money, he said, never mind. I'm gonna relax it. I'm not gonna I'm gonna give them a break. No, you're trying to give your pockets a break because Wall Street is cussing at you, and you've got to satisfy Wall Street. Yes, it involves trading. It does, and it involves Bitcoin. It does. But you don't ever lose. I don't care when Bitcoin drops. I always make money on it. All right. I always make money. My daughter always make money on it. All right. So, and if you want me to talk about it on Patreon in the Finance Room, I'll do it tomorrow. Some of you are going to hear what I say about saying, no, I don't want to do that. Then it ain't for you. But it's one way that we pay our bills. All right. So I'll talk about it tomorrow, and you can get involved if you want to, but yes, it does involve Bitcoin. Thank God for it. Thank God for crypto. Thank God for crypto. When you know how people are trading with crypto, no matter whether it drops or rise, they're trading with it. It's all about trading. That's where people are making their monies. It's about trading, not just about buying it and storing it. It's about trading it. I'll say it again. It's about trading it. Because XRP, couple months ago, I had made $10,000 on XRP. And that 10 sat there, and I said, Walter, if you don't take a profit, it's going to go back down to 4,000. Take a profit. Take some money out, pay a bill, and let it drop. Take it and trade. That's how people stay above the water. A scared investor is a broke investor. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm confident with what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, that I'm going to take 5 people tomorrow and make them a guarantee. I'm going to make them a guarantee that they can't refuse. I'm going to take 5 people tomorrow and make a guarantee that they cannot refuse. Now, you're going to have to make a small investment, yes, but I'm going to guarantee something. Means I'm going to take my money and say, if this don't work within this period of time, I'm going to give you your initial investment back. That's what I did with my family. All right. So I'm just telling y'all, it's about trading. Your brother's doing that? Smart man. These young folks, they doing it. It's crazy, these young folks, what they doing in this trading business. They ain't scared. They ain't worried about what Donald Trump going to do. They don't care about this Iran war. They don't care about none of that stuff. They don't care. They just trading. Some of them are a little more volatile. Some of them are day trading, yes. But a lot of them are doing options. They killing it. Because trading is about percentage and how much you drop. When you see somebody say, this went up 2%, this went up 3%, you're like, 2%, 3%, that ain't nothing. Yeah, it ain't nothing if you're working with $100. But if you're working with $10,000 and you say 2%, 3%, count me in. It's a numbers game. So when I see 2%, 3%, it depends on how much I already got in there. Y'all understand what I'm saying? That's the secret to the stock market. It's percentage compared to how much you already got in there. Yes. My son is doing it. He's not afraid and trying to teach everyone around him and who he meets. Them young folks. Them young folks. Martin Sotomayor, good to see you. Them young folks, man, they trading their way out of debt, out of school debt. Trading is all about percentage points. That's good. Yes, it is. Is Robinhood a good thing? I was there. Sure is. When you are on a limited amount of money monthly, how do you do things like this without being penalized for everything? I use Robinhood faithfully. Sure is. I use Coinbase faithfully. Sure do. I use Fidelity faithfully. Sure do. I was using Moo as well. Sure do. They good. They're gonna be around for a little while. They are regulated. You know, they're regulated, so they're just not something that's just hanging out there. But there are also some risk out there with the other things that I'll talk about tomorrow. But what I'm going to do is partner with 5 people so that your risk will be small. Your risk over time will be small. But I'm only taking 5 people because I don't ever want to push the bunkers into something where you're going to lose your shirt. That's why you notice I never told y'all to do this and do that. I always told y'all to do something traditional. But never put anything in that you can't afford to lose. All right? That you can't afford to lose. Don't do that. But there are people in Patreon in the financial who are looking for different ways to come up. So I'll show you tomorrow, and some of you gonna say, "No, I'm not interested," and it ain't for you. It's not for you. Most people I tell about crypto are not interested in learning. I know. You're usually afraid of something that you know nothing of. So, like the Book of Revelation and the Book of Daniel, when you don't know nothing about it, you don't teach it. You don't teach it. You don't teach it. Okay. All right. So when I tell you all tomorrow on Patreon what is the investment, that's gonna run some of y'all off too. But I'm putting up a guarantee over a certain time, so that if something happens to your investment, I'll take care of it. But I'm only choosing 5 people. All right, so you don't lose. You don't even lose. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, is that right? All right. So God, we thank you. We bless you. We love you for what you've done in our lives. Boy, I tell you, we're so excited about the Word of God and history. We take a history book, we take the Word of God, we put it together, and we say, wow, I never knew it was in there. It was there all the time. So help us, God, to understand it a little bit better so that we know how to teach and train and rear up our young folks so they can be the next generation that will go forth. We do love you. We really do. And we give your name the praise in Jesus' name. Thank God. Amen and amen. All right. TJ said, what time? I don't know. Look for the drop on Patreon. Maybe about noon, maybe something like that. You look for the drop. If you sign up to Patreon in the finance room or in the upper room, either one of those rooms, you'll see the drop and you'll see me talk. And I'll show you some of the things that some of the people made. And then I'll say, okay, here's what you need to invest in, how much you need to put in there, and how you do it. Because the how you do it, some of y'all may not have that. So I can't help you. But I'm just trying to find ways for you all to do something. All right? Because I love y'all and I don't want y'all to lose your shirts. All right? I don't want it. So I'm not going to ever give you anything that I'm not going to back. Y'all trust me too much. Take care of yourselves, one another. I'll see y'all again. Go to Patreon and into the piano room to hear the song of the week called It's Okay. I played it earlier on YouTube, just half of it as a teaser. $5. That's it. $5. And you're good to go. You get 4 songs for $5. $4. Y'all remember I say that because it's $5 for 30 days and I dropped 4 songs. That's 1 song a week. So it's $5. But y'all remember the 45s? How much was those 45s, y'all? You always go to the record store, Tower Records, and buy those records. They're 45s. How much were they, y'all? How much was the LPs? Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody know? All right, for those of y'all saying I'll be at work, I see a teacher, and I'll be over here. The replay will be there. Just go to the replay. What's wrong with y'all? I gotta go eat something. Joy fills my heart. Peace rule and reign there. Have you ever been in that place where you didn't want to see anybody, you didn't want to hear anybody's voice, you turned off the TV, you didn't want to even be at church? Because sometimes you go to church, that is not the presence of the Lord, because so many people are there. Sometimes you get distracted by, sometimes the message is not really about God. The people are chatting and backbiting and fighting, and you got cliques, and people are very loud, and you just want to be in the presence of the Lord. Sometimes you get in your car after church, windows rolled up, and then you're driving home, and then you can feel the presence of the Lord in your car. Those are the moments I love.
Fellas, does it seem like you can't get a good woman? Ladies, wonder why you can't keep a man? Then read The 4 Women That Men Desire, Volume 1, by Sirwalterj to figure out how to break the cycle. Go to Amazon.com to get your copy today.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?